All right, I'm going to go over greatest common factors from the homework assignment. So just a few problems here. All right, so let's look at problem 1. All right, so it's going to follow the steps. So our first step is we want to look at our numbers 9 and 18 and find the greatest common factor there, and that's going to be a 9. So I'm going to go ahead and write down 9. Step 2 is to look at the variables. And we got to see if both terms carry a b in there, and there's not a b with the 9, so therefore it's not in both terms, so we cannot use the b. So the only part of the GCF is the 9. Okay, in step 3, we're going to divide each term by the GCF and then write the leftovers in the parentheses. All right, so 9 divided by 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2, so plus 2, and then b squared comes with it. Okay, looking over at example 2, this GCF, looking at the numbers 2 and 2, the GCF for that will be a 2. Now looking at our variables, if you look at both terms, let's start with x, and we're basically going to repeat step 2 here. So looking at x is not in both terms. Then we look at our second variable, y, and y is not in both terms, so we can't use either of those. So our GCF, again, is just the 2. Okay, so divide both terms by 2, we're going to get x plus y. Okay, looking at problem 3. All right, so looking at the number 45 and 25, the greatest common factor here will be a 5. All right, then we look at the variable, the x squared, and we see that there's not an x in the other term with the 25, so we can't use x squared. So we're just going to divide both terms by 5. So here we're going to get 9x squared minus 5. Jumping to example 4. All right, so here we got two variables, a and b, and then 735. So again, step 1, let's look at the numbers. 7 is the greatest common factor here for that. And then both terms have an a. So since both terms have an a, we're going to choose the term that has the smallest power. So here we have a power 1. We're going to use that. Both terms also have a b. So again, choose the smallest power. They're both power 1, so we just need one of them. Okay, so now we're going to divide each term by the GCF, which is 7ab. And notice how the GCF and the first term here are the same. So that's basically dividing the same number by the same number, which is going to give us a 1. Okay, then we're going to divide 7 into negative 35, which is a negative 5. And then a squared divided by a is a, b divided by b cancel out, and we get this. Okay. Last one will be example 7. Okay, this is the special case one. Notice how all of them are negative. So right off the bat, I'm going to pull a negative out. Okay, now we're looking at just the numbers 5, 5, and 15. 5 will be the greatest common divisor there. And then they all share an x, and the x with the lowest power is x squared. So that's my GCF, negative 5x squared. Okay, so now we're going to divide each term by the negative 5x squared. So again, the first term and the GCF right there, they match up. So same over same is going to be a 1. Okay, negative 5 divided by negative 5 is a positive, and then x cubed divided by x squared is going to be x. And then negative 15 divided by negative 5 is a positive 3. And then x to the 4th divided by x squared will be x squared again. And that'll be the GCF here.